Hello, and welcome to this program by Midsummer's Music. I'm Jacob Beranek, and I'll be your host for today. I'm also the composer in residence with the Midsummer's Music Festival, and I'm delighted that as part of today's program, which is called New Voices, we will hear the world premiere of my new piano trio number 1, Midsummer. We'll also hear the music of composers Reynaldo Ahn and Erling Patrick Horn. But before we get going, a few thank yous are in order. I'd like to thank today's sponsors, and they are Jeannie and Wietse de Vries, Bob and Ruth Fleck, and Julie Ann Fleck Hobbs. We'd also like to thank the Miller Art Museum. They're the space in which we recorded this concert, and we're very grateful for them for allowing us this beautiful location alongside such beautiful art to record our music. If you'd like to follow along with the program book today, we have e-program books available online. If you go to midsummersmusic.com, you can see up at the top of the page a button that says Virtual Events, and if you click that, it'll take you to our program books, which feature program notes and a listing of the pieces we'll be performing. I'd like to bring your attention to a special event, too, that will be happening in a couple months. This is our Midsummer's Music Gala. It's for our 30th anniversary season, and as part of this, we will have the auction of 10 violins that have been painted. That's right, painted. The violins have been painted by 10 local artists. We'll also have a silent auction. These violins really are extraordinary. I've seen pictures of several, but I've had the honor to actually hold one in person. It's the violin that was painted by the painter Mary White. It was inspired by a piece of music of mine, actually. I'm honored that Mary felt so moved by a piece to paint it on this violin. It features her gorgeous flowers all over the violin, but also some of my sheet music and a poem I wrote right in the middle of the violin. It's one of the most amazing things as a composer to have another artist respond to your work like that. And so I'm very grateful to Mary and for all the other artists too for painting these wonderful violins which we will auction on October 10th. That will be hosted by Eric Lewis online. Now, before we get going to the concert too, I'd like to mention just a quick note about donations. You can make tax-deductible donations right at midsummersmusic.com, and these really are important to us, as evidenced seriously by the fact that we have a season this year. It was a very uncertain time, and still is with the pandemic, and many music festivals were not able to carry on this year. However, I'm very grateful that Midsummer's was. Of course, from my perspective as a composer, to have a piece premiered still is a great blessing. But also, I'm sure, for the audiences and the musicians themselves. For the many months that we have spent in quarantine, it's been difficult to not perform with other people and to engage in live music. Now, we finally have the opportunity again to make music together, and it is truly a rich, wonderful blessing for all of us involved. So thank you for your donations. It allows us to keep making music together. Now, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce the performers for today's concert. It will be David Perry and Ann Palin on violins, Allyson Fleck on the viola, Greg Sauer on the cello, and also Jeannie Yu on the piano. Now to the first piece on our program, my very own Piano Trio No. 1, which is subtitled Midsummer. This is the world premiere of this piece, and I couldn't be more excited to be with you all today to discuss it, and to listen, of course. A little word about the background of the piece. This is my 4th season in residence with Midsummer's Music, and the previous 3 seasons that I've been in residence here, I've written quintets for different instrumentation, but still 5 instrumentalists. This year, when I was talking with Jim Birkenstock about what I would like to write, we came up with the idea of writing a piano trio, not necessarily to downsize from my previous seasons, but because there's something about the piano trio that that has weight, and at least in the terms of the repertoire and the canon. You know, it's a really big moment, I think, when a composer decides to write their first piano trio or their first string quartet or their first symphony, certainly. And I wouldn't put the piano trio on the same level as one's first symphony in terms of how monumental it is. But nonetheless, with this first piano trio of mine, I feel like I am taking a step forward and adding my name to the list of many, many great composers that have gone before me and have paved the way in this genre. And it is certainly a humbling undertaking to write in a genre with such a colored and storied lineage. So this piano trio of mine, I subtitled Midsummer. And that's not only an homage to the festival, although it certainly is, this being their 30th anniversary, but also to the music that Midsummer's champions. I've learned a lot of my repertoire that inspires me today by sitting at Midsummer's concerts, or even better, turning pages at the piano. And for a composer to experience such things as Dvorak and Brahms and Joachim Raff and so many great other pieces from the musician's seat is a very rare experience, and is one that is certainly extremely inspirational to me and has left an indelible impression on how I understand chamber music. So I like to think of this piece as also a nod to the piano trio repertoire that Midsummer's has championed over the last 30 years. And as a result, some things in this piece may sound, well, perhaps a little old-fashioned, but it's all in my own voice, I'd like to believe. But the melodies and some of the textures are a direct descendant of the romantic piano trios that I've grown to love because of my time at Midsummer's. So I do hope you enjoy this new synthesis of styles and commingling of melodic invention and all sorts of wonderful things. I hope the performers really enjoyed learning this piece. It was a pleasure to rehearse with them all. And I do hope you enjoy this world premiere of my Piano Trio No. 1, Midsummer. You just heard my very own piano trio number 1, Midsummer. I am so excited and thrilled that we just were able to experience that together. It's one of the most thrilling things for a composer to experience the world premiere of, of his new composition. It's like bringing a new child to life. I'm elated that we could just listen to that together. Now, on to the next piece of the program. This is the Black Tango by Erling Patrick Horn. It's a piece for piano quartet, which is violin, viola, cello, and piano. Mr. Horn was educated in the United States. He went to school at Rice and Northwestern, but he's now living in Canada. But what is interesting about Mr. Horn's style is that it was influenced by the Argentinian composer Astor Piazzolla. Piazzolla made his name writing tangos, and tango-influenced pieces. And Mr. Horn, as well as Mr. Piazzolla, felt that the tango is one of the best genres of music that show commingling of classical and popular music in one. It's a very exciting style. And a large amount of Mr. Horn's compositional output have been tangos. I have a list here starting back in 1998. We have Tango of the Night, the Tunisian Tango, the D minor Tango for string quartet, even a Tango Fugue, and all the way up through 2007 with Tango for a Great Lake. But the piece that we're about to hear is the Black Tango, and this comes from 2002. I hope you enjoyed this very fun, exciting piece. It's riveting. I think the musicians really are having a good time performing it as well. So, Erling Patrick Horn's Black Tango for piano quartet. That concludes the program for today. I want to thank you all for spending this time with me, listening to this music. I'm thrilled, again, to have been a part of it with my own music, my piano trio #1. On a personal note, write me with any thoughts about my piece if you felt so moved. I'm always delighted to hear feedback from audience members about my music, how it affected them, any questions, comments, or even concerns. And with the other music too, we here at Midsummers love being in dialogue with our audiences and fellow music lovers. So please write us a note, either through Facebook or through our website. All the best to you all, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.